Umbreon now has been out for a few days, and we have some updated win rates for the Pokemon, and Umbreon now included in our win rates. And it might be an insane surprise, but actually the highest win rate build of Umbreon is not only Foul Play and Snarl, but it also has the same win rate as Agility and Sacred Sword Zacian. Yes, they share the same win rate at 56%, which actually really doesn't do too well. It is 9% less win rate than Foul Play and Snarl. And when I played this Pokemon over and over again, I really noticed that Foul Play and Snarl felt much better to play in general. Foul Play just felt like you could carry games with it. Meanlook does feel very strong, but only like in, I feel like, coordinated play. Besides that, Foul Play was for sure superior and can actually carry games quite well. Snarl as well is an amazing move that reduces the damage quite a lot. Yes, it has anti-synergy with Foul Play because it reduces attack, and we have Foul Play doing more damage when someone has more attack, but only on the first one as well. So you can always do Foul Play into Snarl into Foul Play, or do Foul Play into Snarl, and you're not going to lose any damage whatsoever. So this might still be a shocking surprise. I also played some Wish. I like Wish as well. When I didn't really have a healer Pokemon, I went for some Wish. And for the health items, I usually played Muscle Band, Razor Claw, and I decided to go for Focus Band. In this game, I have Weakness Policy, but I feel like Weakness Policy is not the greatest in this build. I feel like Cookie Focus Band can also do quite well, but Weakness Policy or Attack Rate can also be fine items. Just get a bit more damage in, but Foul Play and Snarl don't have the highest, tech damage scalings, so it's whatever. X-Speed also great, Eject Button is great. And this Pokemon, as soon as you get to level 10, where you get Foul Play Plus, you become very strong, because after every single Foul Play, you get a boosted auto attack, which allows you to heal much more, and also do, of course, much more damage, right? Because boosted auto attacks always do a good amount of damage. And yeah, this Pokemon, it's still difficult to carry because it's a defender Pokemon, but with this build, I consistently do 80 to 100,000 damage. It is very good, unless my laning phase can be a bit weak, right? Because the Eevee is not the best fake tiers, doesn't have the best last hitting, right? Out of all the moves. But as soon as you get to level 4, you get Foul Play, you can be very strong. So, big fan of this build. Again, Meanlook, just more team-based. And yeah, right now, still looking for level 6 right here. Gonna talk a bit over this game, explain the Pokemon a tiny bit. And should be auto-attack a lot. So, the way the boost auto-attacks works is that you heal more the lower HP you are. So, exactly something like Cookie could also increase your healing by quite a lot. Because the more HP you have, the more HP you will also just generally heal, because it's percentage based. But in general, the lower you are, the more you will heal. Right now, you can already see my auto attack was healing for like 360, which is quite a lot this early game. I'm popping a Snarl right here to reduce some damage. But now my Foul Play will do a bit of less damage if they still have that damage decrease on. So Snarl decreases damage of the opponents, and yeah, it increases the attack and special attack. So quite strong. It also gives you hindrance resistance. You can just run in. It gives you a shield. And at the end of Snarl, you actually get a stun out as well. So it actually feels quite strong. I'll just make sure we basic attack a lot. That's why I still play Muscle Band, because they do basic attack a lot, to make sure we get our boosted auto attacks back up. And it also helps a bit with the early game. And honestly, Umbreon, as soon as you get to very late game, you actually feel quite tanky. I think the only problem this Pokemon really has is Glaceon. But I mean, you can see Glaceon right now is a problem for every single Pokemon, right? Glaceon, Icicle Spear, it's getting nerfed in the next patch. Right now, it's a huge issue. It's very difficult to play defender Pokemon into it. Right now, so in this scenario, I did use Snarl before Foul Play, which makes my Foul Play do less damage. But Slowbro doesn't have the highest attack damage set anyways, so I felt like it didn't matter really too much. The Unite move as well is quite decent. It actually steals shields, so it's also very strong in teamfights. Up against, against Wigglytuff as well or something is very nice. If you dive a goal as well, because you steal the goal shields. And the thing is, you can't see Rayquaza shields though, that doesn't work. And yeah, you want to be very aggressive on this Pokemon. And again, you can either do Foul Play into Snarl into Foul Play, and as soon as you get to level 10, you want to try to get those auto attacks in between every single Foul Play. Because the boost auto attacks are super important for this Pokemon. So right now, there's a fight happening on top path, but I just want to get to level 10 very fast, because again, level 10 is going to be insanely important for this Pokemon, and you want to become level 10 as fast as possible, and then you start really feeling insanely strong. So, Umbreon's coming out in a few days. Would I recommend buying it? I think so. Like, at this point, I wasn't quite sure how to evaluate this Pokemon because of Glaceon, but if Glaceon gets a nerf as well, I think Umbreon is going to be absolutely amazing. It's a very fun Pokemon as well. Again, this build is very fun. I also like Foul Play and Wish. If you go for that, you can go play Attack Rate, because Wish has very good scalings with Attack Rate. Right here, we just go in with a Foul Play, then we Snarl, and then we Foul Play stun again. The second Foul Play also stuns, which is also quite nice. Going in again, stunning again. Preparing something for my team. I have a boost auto attack ready, so I'm going to try to maybe get a basic attack out. I'm using my Snarl to get a hindrance resistance, using a dash auto attack, but sadly we still go down. It's gonna be, even though you do feel quite tanky at some point, against a lot of damage, you are still very squishy. So if enemies have like ways of reducing your defense stats, like a Shadow Sneak or something, you're gonna go down very fast. Another Pokemon I had issues against was Ninetales, which is right now pretty popular. The Blizzard Avalanche on you is very difficult to play against. You get pushed back once and you can have a hard time going back in. But at least you have your Snarl, which gives you, again, hindrance resistance, which means you can kind of dodge the Blizzard if you know it's going to happen, right? And it feels, I don't know if it feels like a main defender. It kind of also feels like an all-rounder, I guess. Beanlook and Wish feels more like a defender Pokemon. But this bit for sure feels very aggressive. You feel like a bit tankier all-rounder that still deals a good amount of damage and still offers a lot of CC for the team as well. Looking maybe for bot right here, getting 11 already. And then we Snarl before we play in. You can also activate your, like this right here in this scenario, you can actually use Foul Play during Snarl, which is also very, very good, which means you can dash in with that stun active, you stun them for the second time, and then they get stunned by Snarl as well. It's quite nice. So you can use it completely during the animation of Snarl, and you can move with it into the enemy team, and also engage with it, which is also very, very nice, getting a Registeel right here. And then we go in at this point. Again, if my Foul Play isn't up, I'm just going to use my Snarl. Use my Unite move here to stun as well, because it also stuns. Also very strong. And here you can see me dashing forward. I'm using Snarl, I dash forward, they get stunned by my Snarl, and then they get stunned by my second Foul Play. Also quite good. But again, if you're against high attack damage Pokemon, make sure you don't Snarl first, because then you're going to lose a lot of damage, right? And the way it works is, I think a lot of people don't really know it, the first Foul Play matters. So the first one just does damage, and depending on how much attack damage the enemy Pokemon has, the more damage your second Foul Play will do. So it's only the first one that matters. That's the thing. Only the first Foul Play looks at the attack stat of the opponent, and then your second one will do damage based around it. So against Pokemon like Zoroark or Talonflame, you do crazy amounts of damage late game. You do absolutely crazy amounts of damage. It has very good scalings, or like very good, I think it's like 250% of their base, or like their attack damage as some extra damage or something. Like, it's absolutely crazy. It does a lot of damage, and you're going to destroy opponents. Actually, I'm not quite sure how much it is. That sounds a bit too much, I think. But yeah, up to a Talonflame, you can do like over 1000 damage with your Foul Play. It is very, very strong and deals a lot of damage. Getting to level 13 right now. And since it's an evolution, we get our +1s quite early, so level 10 is very easy to reach for you all the time. In this scenario, I just use my Snarl with Foul Play to engage, which I think is totally fine as well. But you can see, if I go a bit too deep and I get focused down, my cooldowns are not there, you still go down quite fast. You gotta find a good balance of, should I go in? Can I really do something here? And then trying to get your auto attacks out in between to start healing up. Maybe getting your Night move out. Or you can see you still go down very, very fast if you don't pay attention. Or if you're, I mean, this Pokemon as well, if you have a healer Pokemon, like a Comfey, Blissey, Clefable next to you, then you're gonna start feeling unkillable, right? And that's when the Pokemon really starts shining in actually proper team comps. But I think that's always something, Healer Pokemon always make the game much easier to play. Going in as well again, hitting a nice stun right here, they get stunned. Just start basic attacking, always make sure you basic attack. Going in with the boost auto attack and then stunning, using another Snarl right here. We dodge the Cotton Spore, try to at least. Go in as well again. And then we start basic attacking, Foul Playing back out. And going for this guy now, I'll make sure we, again, just basic attack, basic attack, basic attack. Make sure we get our basic attack in between all of our things as well. Just breaking the goal right here. Of course, Espeon had more points, but I don't think he would have made it. So make sure we get those points in. Getting Slowbro Night movement here. But in this scenario, you can see I'm actually quite tanky now. On level 14, we go in with another Foul Play, basic attack, start healing up. I'm going to just stun him right here. I'm going to lose some damage onto the second Foul Play right here. But again, on Slowbro, it's not going to matter too much. We're just zoning, and our Glaceon is going to take on the Rayquaza, but we're just zoning for our T, or like just for our opponents. Glaceon doing Glaceon things. This Pokemon is just absolutely busted. And you can see, here's this the shield I stole from Eldegoss. Quite good, even under a Go. You can actually dive Goals quite well with it. Especially even the base Goal, because you just remove the shield instantly, and it gives you also a big shield, which makes you much tankier. So yeah, Umbreon, very strong Pokemon. I have a lot of 100,000 games with this build, and I think I would for sure recommend if you consider to buy this Pokemon when it comes out in a few days with coins. Hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay and this commentary, and if you did, feel free to like the video and subscribe to my channel.